What's that brand that you feel does their communication and the social media very well? I think for me, I would say it's Red Cross. Why? When you think about Red Cross, whether it's a Red, so this is Red Cross Tanzania, but whether it's Red Cross Tanzania or Red Cross Rwanda or Red Cross Cameroon or Red Cross Afghanistan or Red Cross London, you realize, how they brand themselves is the same. Now, have you ever asked yourself, does it mean that Red Cross does not fancy the color blue or Red Cross does not fancy the color yellow? I want you to sit with that question. But really, I also want you to reflect back as an organization. I'd asked you to go through your social media. So I want you to reflect back and just look at it and just think to yourself, what do you see when you think about how your organization has its presence online? And so just that minute of reflection is what we call the situation analysis. And it's very important because, number one, it allows you to really understand where you stand as an organization. When you look at this image of Red Cross and you reflect upon your organization, you go like, aha, we always say our brand colors are blue and yellow. But how often do we use our brand colors? So it helps you reflect on where you are. And then it also helps you think about your strengths and resources. One thing I can tell you for sure, why we know Red Cross is, number one, they advertise. They have the resources, they have the money to advertise so that whatever country you're in, when you have an emergency, you have the information to know that Red Cross will be there to help you and to show up in times of crisis. And then also there's someone in charge. Red Cross is a global organization. There's someone in charge of the communication docket globally, making sure all these accounts, making sure the image of the organization is the same across the globe. So they have the human resource and the capital to ensure that branding look is available. And then the other thing also is it helps you understand what are you struggling with. Probably it takes some artwork. It takes some understanding of graphic design to be able to create some of these posters and images. So is it, you're able to reflect and ask, is it that we lack internal capacity? And then finally, the other thing is just knowledge, information. Do you have adequate knowledge to keep posts, to keep your communication flowing for a whole year, 2 years, 3 years, and just keep your communication flowing for the period of the life of the organization? So that is very important, and that is very key for consideration when it comes to your communication status. So I hope you've taken a minute to just reflect and to understand where you are as an organization, because having done that, then it allows us to really now delve in to see, where do you start? Regardless of where you are, where do you start to make sure that you communicate your organization's intention in the best way? So the final thing I'll conclude on is that your analysis helps you to define your brand identity. Now, I'll share with you, a brand identity is how you hope that you are perceived as an organization. It is what you intend for people to know about your organization. Now, there's something else we call brand image. Brand image is actually how people perceive you as an organization. But really also your situation analysis just helps you understand, yourself. Probably you say when you go to a function, we always like people to know that we're present, but maybe all you're doing is wearing your organization t-shirt. Compare that to the organization who goes and asks for their banner to be at the front. Compare that to the organization who asks for a stand to be able to share about what they do. So these are different factors, and they play a key role, but the only way you will determine what works for you is because you have a communication plan.